Is the fight truly canceled? Why would Joe Rogan say that? Hey everyone, gather around because I've got some extremely steamy news to share with you. So here's the deal. There is speculation that Jake Paul and Mike Tyson's huge fight could be at risk. Hold on, why on earth would Jake bail on the fight of the century? Joe Rogan has some ideas on that, and he has information that might shake everything up big time. We're going to discover all the specifics, and you won't want to miss out on this, I promise you. Joe Rogan recently crushed Jake Paul after he canceled his immense battle with Iron Mike Tyson. Yes, the much-anticipated clash of the eras has once again gone up in flames. And who are we supposed to thank? Jake Paul, of course. He's out here, pulling the plug for what could possibly have been the biggest bout of his career, as if it were just another day at work. What about this time? Now it's not destined to happen, especially with Joe Rogan around. Do you know how serious Joe Rogan is about appreciating the sport and its icons? And when Jake canceled on a legend like Mike Tyson, Joe had a few harsh comments for him. Rogan, who is all about maintaining the honesty of fighting games, couldn't let Jake's irresponsible actions stand. Joe criticized Jake in a recent podcast broadcast, calling him out for disrespecting the fights and avoiding a highly anticipated match. Rogan went off, claiming that withdrawing from this bout is a slap in the face to the sport and those who support it. You could not walk away from a battle with Mike Tyson as if it were nothing. And, honestly, he's correct. Jake has a huge pride, but this time around he is messing with the wrong people. Let us break it down for you. Actually, Joe Rogan didn't simply criticize Jake Paul for drawing the plug on the Mike Tyson fight. No way. Joe went all in, unleashing a nasty rant about how Jake has been manipulating his supporters since the beginning. Rogan is no stranger to outspoken beliefs, but this time he completely destroyed Jake's image, labeling him a master manipulator who has been selling his supporters an untrue narrative for years. He's always been loud about doubting Jake's status as a legitimate boxer. Even as Jake picked up victories and solidified his name as an influencer-turned-fighter, Rogan continued to remain on the eliminates, calling out the deceitful tactics Jake employs to fool people into thinking he is the honest game. And now that Jake has pulled out of the fight of the year against Mike Tyson, Joe has had enough. Rogan wasn't holding back, accusing Jake of tricking his fans and the media into believing he's someone he's really. Joe has been a longtime admirer of the voice of combat sports, and he's seen it all. Legends, rising stars, and even controversial competitors that spice things up. Jake's antics, however, are more than just showmanship to him. They are clearly unkind to the sport, and given that Jake has called off the Tyson bout, Rogan is doubling down on his criticism. Rogan chastised Jake for employing these strategies to maintain himself in the spotlight. He went so far as to label Jake's conduct a disservice to boxing fans, claiming that this was meant to be the fight of the year. People were prepared, fans were excited, and now what? You pull away at the last possible second as if it were no big deal. It's simply wrong, man. And the truth is, Joe has been wary of Jake from the outset. He's never truly accepted Jake's self-described status as a legitimate fighter. Sure, Jake has won several fights, but Rogan has continually questioned the quality of Jake's opponents and the manner in which he manipulates the narrative to make himself appear unbeatable. So the excitement for Jake Paul against Mike Tyson had reached a fever pitch. We're talking about one of the greatest fights in wrestling history, especially after the heated news appearance on August 18th, 2024 in New York City. If you missed it, you skipped some impressive fireworks. Mike stood out here, looking like he was about to eat Jake alive. And Jake? He was doing exactly what he does best, talking garbage and puffing himself up as if he were invincible. The anticipation was high, fans were going crazy, reservations were selling out quicker than concert seats, and everybody was taking wagers. People picked their sides. The entire fight world was buzzing. Jake just delivered a major bombshell on us. The fight is called off. After all the pomp, bluster, and build-up, Jake simply pulls the plug. Our guy appears to be nervous before the fight. We're discussing getting into the ring with Mike Tyson, the man who practically bitten off a guy's ear before. The psychological impact of meeting Tyson, knowing he has decades of destruction under him, can shake anyone, including Jake Paul. But here's the deal. The boxing community did not take this lightly. Fans are extremely disappointed, and Joe Rogan was not about to allow this go without saying something. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Joe Rogan's relationship with Tyson, let me explain briefly. Joe is essentially Tyson's #1 fan. He appears to be the unofficial Mike Tyson fan club's president. Every time Joe mentions Tyson on his podcast, you can feel the admiration on his face. So when Jake Paul, the online phenomenon and self-proclaimed problem child, cancels the fight of a lifetime against Tyson, Joe is not having it. Okay, let's talk about why Jake withdrew. From what we understand, Jake's team has stated that it is all about scheduling and financial decisions. But let's be honest, there's more to it than that. I mean, this was supposed to be the fight. The bout that could have legitimized Jake Paul in the eyes of boxing experts and commentators. Let's be honest for a second. A bout with Mike Tyson would have drastically changed Jake Paul's career. And if Jake had won, he would have established himself as more than just an influential boxer. But most probably Jake knew he had no chance against a legend like Tyson. This guy has been shocked since the matchup was made public, and it has now caught up with him. The strain was huge. Jake wasn't ready to face one of history's most fearsome fighters. So what is the actual reason? Jake clearly had second thoughts. He realized he was entering dangerous terrain. And the thought of getting into the ring with Mike was surely causing him dreams. Instead of walking into the ring with Mike, Jake backed out, rendering fans and Joe Rogan extremely disappointed. As we all know, Mike Tyson is an incredible machine dude. Seriously, the guy trained hard for the upcoming event. He's been working out at the gym hard, throwing in the work. We're referring to explosive combinations and strong movements. He still has his immense power and will. Everything is powerful and accurate. Tyson may be heading to the age of 60, but his striking power hasn't changed. Take this. Jake still has plenty of miles from succeeding in establishing himself as a genuine boxer. However, his most recent moves have had the opposite effect. Instead of gaining the respect he so desperately seeks from the boxing community, Jake is out here making actions that only further distance him from the actual sports experts. By disrespecting an icon like Mike Tyson, Jake is digging himself an even deeper hole. This recent stunt has made people not only detest him, but also outraged. Not only are fans fed up, but so are specialists. Jake's disrespect has riled up individuals like Joe Rogan, who isn't scared to call him out on his actions. Rogan, who understands the sport in every aspect, has made it clear that Jake's behavior is inappropriate and only serves to demonstrate that he is not ready to be regarded professionally in the boxing community. That has brought us to the end of this video. What are your ideas on Jake Paul getting humbled by Joe Rogan? Make sure you comment on your thoughts in the comments section below. Let's meet again with another interesting video.